In the first Theory Fundamentals video, we discussed some basics of pitch notation, namely how the notes are arranged on the staff and grouped using clefs. If you haven't become familiar with that idea yet, I suggest going back and starting in that video. This video is the first in a set of 3 that will talk about keys, key signatures, and solfege. Some people may say that solfege has nothing to do with the discussion about keys, but I would argue that this is the perfect place to start talking about solfege, and you'll see why soon enough. Let's start by looking at a C major scale. In this scale, every note is natural, meaning that if you were to play it on a keyboard, you would not need any of the smaller black keys to play it. Notice that some of these keys have a black key between them, and some of them do not. This is the difference between a whole step and a half step. In an ascending C major scale, the pattern of half and whole steps goes like this. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. This pattern will stay the same for every major scale, regardless of what note you start on. So what if we start on F instead? Let's apply the same pattern. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, and there's our F major scale. Notice this time that to keep the pattern the same, we had to use one of the black keys, in this case, B flat. Pause. Here's a brief explanation of flats and sharps, which you've probably seen in music before. A flat symbol indicates that the written pitch will actually be played a half step lower. So in our example, B flat is the black key 1/2 step below B. A sharp symbol indicates that the written pitch will actually be played a half step higher. For example, A sharp would be the black key 1/2 step above A. Whoa, that's the same key as B flat. Don't worry, this happens. A sharp and B flat are what we call inharmonic equivalents, a fancy term that means that they sound like the same note but are written differently. Whether you use A sharp or B flat will depend on the key, so let's get back to that. Our example in F major requires us to use a B flat to keep our half and whole step pattern correct. Watch what happens if we tried to use a B natural instead. That should sound a little weird because it's not the same as a major scale. The pattern now is whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half. So we've created something other than the major scale, a mode. We'll get to those later. You can start on any note you want, and if you follow this pattern of whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, you'll make a major scale. You'll probably notice, if you're on a keyboard, that you'll need to use a lot of black keys for some scales and fewer black keys for others. How many or how few you need can be represented by a very exciting diagram that we'll cover in the next video. See you next time.